This is a video of the Living Cross production that I had the privilege of directing for 5 years in Fort Wayne, Indiana, at a great church called Calvary Temple Worship Center. Every year the show ran 30 performances over a 6-week time span, and 36,000 people came to experience the Living Cross. The greatest thing about the Living Cross was the end result of 10,000 people coming to know Christ.
Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is near. Come and be baptized.
All the music, all the underscore that you hear in this video is actual music lifted directly out of the production soundtrack.
It is written, He will command His angels over you.
I seem to know a little scripture too.
The musical had a large Broadway feel. The cast members included about 250 adults and about 50 kids, so quite a group of people to work with and manage and coordinate. But it was such a great experience. Everyone was a volunteer and really gave a lot of time out of their year to audition and prepare for the musical. As you can see, the lighting is quite spectacular. David Cannaday is the tech director who worked for the church and also designed all the lighting schemes for the Living Cross. Not all of the songs had that Jewish feel, which was kind of fun. We used a lot of contemporary songs in the musical. This particular song made popular by Christ Church out of Nashville. The soloist on it is Brenda Ellis. She's a Fort Wayne native, and you can actually hear her sing today. She works with the T.D. Jakes organization down in Dallas.
He wants to heal your body.
All of the voices you hear in the vocal track are people from the church. There were no pre-recorded voices other than what we recorded ourselves. The technique I used to record the choir, I had about 150 singers that made up a mass group to give it that large sound of, many voices on the stage. Just like when you're looking at the stage, you see it full of people and you hear all these voices. So it really did give you that feeling like everyone on the stage was singing live, even though they were singing to pre-recorded tracks of themselves. And for clarity, what I would do is record a smaller group of 16 singers on individual mics and then go back and mix that with the large group. Just had that really large feeling in the room. We mixed everything in stereo for the house. One advantage of playing a show like this with tracks is, of course, the consistency factor from song to song, and when you're doing 30 performances in a row, to have that consistency is key. Also, all the voices that you hear for solos, we recorded those solos on the stage with their mic that they would use for the performance, and then those tracks were used as backup tracks in case their mic went down.
For they know not what they do.
For the crucifixion scene, we actually used a double for Jesus.
Into your hand,
This person on the cross is actually in blood the whole time, so
my spirit.
he's a little bit smaller than the actual Jesus that you see through the rest of the musical.
Is finished.
This is one of my favorite effects that I've seen used in theater. It's called a grid rocket. It's a pyrotechnic effect. It's like a sparkler that travels down a wire at a really high speed. These are actually pictures that are about a 2-second time span to capture the whole thing as one big fireball. The effects that we used in the hell scene were quite elaborate. We used a lot of propane fire, columns, walls of fire. And then we also added what's called gerbs. It's something that the characters can control in their hand and actually fire back and forth on each other. A lot of flash pots and pyrotechnics going on like that. In the heaven sequence, we used a couple of effects of flying. One was Jesus' ascension up into the clouds. The second was flying the angels through the room. We actually incorporated flying by foy for all of our flying sequences. The lighting design for the heaven sequence was elaborate. Many beams of light spreading across the room, across the audience. Gave you that kind of feeling like you were in the stars. Several different pin lights through the room would illuminate characters in the aisles, all through the seating. We had this monstrous beam from one of our Martin Mac fixtures that just illuminated this mirror ball in the center of the room. With the audio mixed in a stereo image for the house, if you were sitting in the audience, you truly felt like you were in the midst of heaven, just surrounded by voices and angelic beings. As the musical concluded, all of the cast members changed into white robes, and they began to populate the stage, and they were just everywhere through the auditorium. The final scene was the two center doors of the main stage would open up to reveal Jesus sitting on the throne on top of the earth, with a lion on either side that was animated. It was a great experience to be a part of the Living Cross, and I hope you enjoyed this brief tour of this awesome production.